Oh well, this is a challenge.
Okay,
this is like part 3. We'll see. Okay, how it goes.
Stabilizes. Yeah.
So I hope it stabilizes. If it stabilizes, we'll continue to share. If not, probably we'll look for a better stable connection, and then only we will continue to share it. Right? So yeah, I'm not sure if like anyone is tuning in now. But as I mentioned, I was just at the point where we're talking about fear, 人子, deep water, okay, where in Chinese astrology, and you know, water is relating to the emotions of fear. And now we are in a month that the water is at its deepest level, where in Chinese we call this is like a 無底之潭. It's like a big pool of water where, right, the chances is we don't even realize it's like, where is the bottom of this particular pool of water itself? Have we actually like reached rock bottom yet? Okay, so all this becomes as a challenge to all of us. All right, so it will be a month. Let's say if you look at 人子in terms of hexagram, and those of you who actually attended my mid-year talk itself, like navigate the 2022 storm, right, you will understand that in December itself, 人子pillar is also associated to the hexagram number 51, which is the thunder hexagram. Now, thunder hexagram itself. Alright, now, 震卦, okay, or 雷為震. 雷為震 means it's like the thunder hexagram itself, right, okay? It's actually like a hexagrams that represents a shock, okay, disruption. So you will see that in December itself, okay, there will be from either a personal level or right from the external level, okay, right from a bigger scale to the micro scale, okay, itself, right, you will see that there will be possibilities of like thunderous things that will happen, shocking things that will happen. Now, a lot of times people will see that, oh, thunder, shocking, okay, hexagram like this is supposed to be a bad hexagram. It's supposed to be bad. It's supposed to be not good. Something that is disrupting, something that is shocking is supposed to be a bad thing. Now, in the real, I would say, explanations or the wisdom of I Ching itself, right, okay, the thunder hexagram is considered a positive hexagram. It's a good hexagram. It's something good because everything in life itself, we need disruptions. We need a shocking disruptions to bring things back to order. Like in order for like things, okay, to go back into order, we need that disruption. We need that chaos. We need that shocking things. And a lot of times, right, why people terms it as bad, you will only see it as, oh, that's so cute. Right, yeah, there's a lot of doggies here, okay, walking around, okay. So like people terms it as bad, something shocking, something thunderous as bad. It's only for people who are not willing to actually make changes, not willing to make transformations. They're holding on to the goal. Oh, now this also in a way re-emphasized on me because last night we were watching this particular movie, which is very, very good. It's titled Po. It is, the first movie we watched it with Shok Yi together, okay, that was like X, right, okay, right, X, the first movie, and then this is like the second part of it, which is Po. It's a very, very good movie, okay, I would suggest, I mean, if you have time, okay, for some movie, do watch it. It is X-rated anyway, okay, so be careful if you're watching it with your kids, okay.
18X.
Yeah, 18X.
But not really.
Okay? Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not that bad. But not maybe, I mean, not so suitable for young ones lah.
It's definitely not suitable for normal young ones, okay? Unless your kids are not that normal like my kids, okay?
Yeah, but the prequel, which is Pearl, is actually okay.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, it's very, very good. And it reminded me because Pearl was taken place in somewhere around like 1918, right?
Yeah,
1916, 1918, okay, yeah. Where the World War I is taking place. And it is actually in a way happening in Spain. Or not in Spain, it's like during Spain where the worldwide impact, the Spanish flu is happening.
Right.
All right?
It takes place in America.
Yeah, it takes place in America, but it's like during the pandemic of the Spanish influenza.
Right,
okay?
During World War I.
Yeah, okay. And it again reminds, me again, reinstate again, as in like whatever that we've gone through 2 years ago up to now, okay, the whole COVID thing, it's a recurrence of thing.
Yes.
Okay, it's a reoccurrence of thing. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a recurrence of the thunder hexagram. It's a shocking things. It's like things that comes back to us to disrupt. Okay, things so that it can goes back to order. Okay, so it is something that it will come and it will go, and all we need to do is just let it go, and everything will go back to normal. You look at the people in Spain here. Most of the local people, I will say that they are not mask on. there's no mask on, okay, or whatsoever. Everything that's almost in a way goes back to like normal, okay, per se. So it's like that's the meaning of thunder hexagram. Thunder means that, okay, in December 2022, okay, in our life itself, either from a micro level or on a macro level, it can be political, okay, it can be or personal, right? Things will actually needs to happen to disrupt the pattern, to disrupt whatever pattern that you're going through now, especially those patterns are not on a auto growth level. You are not in a way going on and a continuous growth and breakthrough level. You have been procrastinating, you have been running away due to fear, you have been hiding yourself, okay? This month itself is going to actually in a way shake you up, wake you up, okay? Disrupt your patterns, okay? In a way to show you that things needs to be shook, that things needs to be in a way disrupted in order for you, okay, to get back to the orderly form of our principal soul. Principal soul means it's an all-rounder where we don't look into life on just one perspective, but many other perspectives in terms of relationship, love, well-being, health, spiritual awareness, and all these things as well. And of course, at the same time, wealth. So for people who are not aware of this, for people who are still in a way stuck on like a one-way traffic, for people who are still stuck on to probably holding on to one relationship or holding on to one security or one sense of career and not in a way allowing change for that, December will come and hit us hard. Alright, so that's why 忍者 is deep, it's fearful, okay? The more fear we have within us, okay, the more we will be impacted, okay, so-called negatively with this particular month itself, alright? Yeah. So that is what the hexagram of the thunder hexagram represents.
And to add on with that, right, if we look into the other astrology, right, borrowing from the movement transits of the Western astrology and cueing it into what we understand from the parts of the Chinese astrology perspective, right? The good news is that if you're aware and if you are already working on yourself, like many of you who do follow our work are, so the good news is that you do have a lot of strength and power, right? And also the resources and also the knowledge and information to connect the dots, which means to continue to work with your own personal transformation. So there are a lot of indications that support that. If you are pegged into the true meaning of life, into a true meaning of what is spiritual for you, what life means to you, and you've been working on personally transforming, it could be in a concrete area like your career, or it could be just your life aspect, or it could be your own perspective and mentality, then there's a lot of energy that supports that as well. Right? Even though, again, surface-wise, it might trigger some remnants of fear and so on. But whatever it is, if you're working towards building something meaningful, right, a meaningful life for the future, right, in your way, you are supported. And this is also a great time, a great month to actually further work into the deconstruction, right? How you want to reshape things, how you want to transform things, and so on and so forth. As long as you basically keep the importance of what's important, right? Have an anchor towards that, and you work with that basis instead of working on quick fixes, fast track to
or
things,
denial,
or staying in denial, or wanting things too fast, or wanting things, or focusing on the shallow, shall we say, then it will not support all of that. But if you're working on all the more deeper, meaningful parts of transforming your life, then a lot of energy is there to support this.
All right, and I like it. It's like when Kong Yu actually brings this into context, okay? Like, okay, we mentioned that the rainwater is a resource, okay? The fundamental, the information, the data, okay? So that for people who are ready, for people who are already on the path to see the truth, to know the truth, or open to the truth itself, and no longer live in denial, 忍者 is the month where you will go deep into all these resources, go deep into the informations where you will discover more, okay, meanings to life, the meaning or the purpose, okay, or the meaning to the things that you are doing or you are trying to pursue in your life itself, right? So therefore, December itself is really a month for us to really look into it, as in like to identify, are there any seeds of fear within us? Okay, if there are any seeds of fear, it's better for us to transform the fear. Because it's like I realize that fear can be transformed into power. It can be transformed into sensations of like in control or power. And this I realize is like, I remember in Dubai, okay, I was introduced to, of course, one of the, I would say, world book of record or Guinness record holder of like some indoor roller coaster, and I was just like sending this idea out to the team. Okay, like some of the team members are like very gung-ho, okay, to just let's do it, and then of course some of the team members are like, oh no, I'm too old for this, right? No, okay, it's like I do not want to in a way take a risk, okay, onto this as well, and it actually gives me. I mean, I was excited for it. I don't have to really have to do it unless it's like everyone wants to do it together. But that it actually prompted me to question, as in like, why are they? A lot of people are like in a way very into all this adrenaline sort of like pushes sort of like activities like roller coaster rides, okay, like I mean we have just passed, you know, Halloween, where you have a lot of all those like horror houses and all that, and then we have also bungee jumping, okay, right? So why is it that a lot of people likes to experience this? In fact, I had a friend, okay, I mean, let's not mention her name, right? The husband at their mid-50s, okay, probably, or late 50s itself, just did his, I mean, bungee jumping in New Zealand, okay? So it is something that in a way that triggers me. Is like, why do we even want to go towards that? And I realized that one of the answer could be that, right, the fear within us itself are constantly looking for expression, okay? The fear within us. So when we have a safe environment to express the fear can turn into power. When we do that bungee jumping, when we do that adrenaline push, sort of like roller coaster ride, when we went into the horror houses and all these things, okay, and brave it, this is a safe environment because we know the chances is, okay,
it's either safe or it's fake.
Yeah, okay, it's fake or it's
relatively
safe. Yeah,
safe.
or why we like horror movies, okay, that we have just watched and all that. So all these things are supposed to give our fear a platform of expression. And when we can express this, okay, fear within us, it actually in a way like turns that fear into power. It turns the fear into a form of control, that we know that now we are in control of ourselves. Like nothing can really stop us. Of course, like for entrepreneurs, right, most of the time they don't really go for all this like a roller coaster rides or whatever, but they brave themselves from doing things that have high risk, okay, that fears them, right? And this I realize is like, for me, is like going through all the soul's journey trip and all these things. Do I have doubt and a bit of fear within me? Yes, I do, okay? Do I still want to push myself to go ahead and do it? Of course I do, all right? So whenever we pushes ourselves to do something that fears us the most, okay, it turns out to be the ultimate power. It turns out to be the ultimate sort of like source or field of power as well. All right, lying in pyramid tomb was overwhelming fear. Thank you for the experience. Yep, chilly, okay? So it's like, and in the pyramid itself, in the tomb itself, it's all about like, in a way, like almost like the fear of facing death, okay? The death itself is like, how do we feel, okay, when death approaches us? And I'm sure I personally also hear from Shirley, it's not easy for her at that moment as well, because those are the days where, of course, she also heard news of like some death, okay, of the people that she loved dearly in her life, okay? So when all these fears, when we have a good expressions or we have a good, I would say, platform to express them, okay, it empowers us. So I would say that December itself, yes, it has a lot of fear going on. We will be thrown into some trials or tribulations or lessons, okay, of whatever seeds of fear that we have within us, okay? And when we're aware of it, okay, we can turn this into a very in-depth, resourceful moment. A month where just now Kong Yu has mentioned, even from the Western astrology, it talks about like transformations, the preparations of transformations to get all the insights, the informations and the things that you need to know in order for you to transform in the months ahead. And in terms of Chinese astrology, the resources, okay, it goes into like details, informations, the deeper value of like, how to say, the knowings that we need to know, okay, for our progress in our soul itself or in our life itself, okay? So December will be the month that enables us to do this.
Yeah. Yep.
All right? But the thing is, we have to be grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to stay grounded. We have to have the awareness that these are the things happening for us, not to us. So we are not a victim to circumstances. All these so-called things, even though if we are like reaching rock bottom, we have to understand that it is happening for us, so that we now know, okay, why these things are happening in our life.
Yeah. Whatever it is triggered, it is good and it is healthy and it is a powerful opportunity for us to really grasp, especially in terms of our personal transformation and work along those lines. Also, just to add further that coming from the autumn season now into the pretty much into the deep depths of winter when we enter December itself, naturally we're moving from the metal energy, which is the weakest element of the year but strongest in season for last season, which is autumn. Now we're going to the peak of winter, and it's also a great way for us to use whatever information, knowledge, and also the power that we get from transforming our fears into then slowly building for stuff which we want to look forward to in next year, 2023. So remember to stay patient and use the opportunity for transformation now instead of trying to make things happen, right? And trying to force things through. It's much better to work with the energies of spring of 2023 for that endeavor.
So now it's really going into the fundamental core of things. What is fueling you? Fueling as in like, what is the trigger, the innermost trigger for whatever that you do? Like every day, okay, you go and work so hard in your life and all that. What is the fundamental trigger? If it's fear or it's love, is it passion or it's fear? So we have to understand that for once and for all, we have to clear that out, to have clarity. What is really like pushing you, okay, right, towards whatever that you're doing. And one thing I'm very, very, very glad that I've just made a decision, okay, something that I'm not to say that I'm proud of myself, but I'm just glad that it's cleared off, right? Just 1 hour before this, okay, right, back in the hotel room and all that, okay, we are still having a lot of like, you know, it's end of the year. There's a lot of corporate talks, a lot of like corporate engagement talks. And in fact, I have a local bank, okay, that in a way has an engagement for me nationwide, okay, that is about like 10 sessions, okay, including another international corporate brand that I've turned down when I was in Egypt, okay. But this bank itself now, want to engage me for a corporate talk for whole nationwide itself. And I was ding-donging with some dilemma like this. I have not really like made a very, very clear decisions, but 1 hour before this, when I was preparing for this Facebook Live, like clarity came to me, okay? And I've actually asked my team to decline, all right? I mean, probably some of you probably are listening in are from the bank itself, okay? I'm very, very honored and I'm very, very thankful, okay? But I realized that, okay, the fundamental feel for me to do the work that I'm doing now is really not into the corporate talk. I know my team told me that, okay, I have to do all these things because it enables me to reach out to more people, right? And can actually expose me more in terms of branding and marketing is a good thing. But I believe that, okay, there are so many of you here who are always constantly tuning in, like supporting me, okay, if I want to reach out to more like-minded people, I think that through all of you guys here will be the best thing, okay, that I can do. I can do Facebook Live like this, hours and hours, okay, with minimal pay or even like, in a way, from J Group support or sometimes with no pay, but the satisfaction and the fulfillment is so much better for me to stand up on stage there to do a 1 hour corporate talk, to touch on anything on the surface level, but I do not have the time to go in depth into things. And therefore, I finally decided to once and for all to tell my team that no more corporate talks. Okay, I mean, in a way, of course, Kong Yu is still doing it, all right? So we suggest, because of course, if you want, there are other people from the team that can actually do it. I'm very, very grateful that over the years itself, okay, I have been perceived as valuable to give valuable advice during corporate talks and all these things. I'm very glad that I've given this, like, in a way, platform to do it, and I'm very glad that I can overcome the fear of doing public speaking. Okay, and of course, thankfully to Dato' Joey Yap, who gave me the first, professional opportunity. I mean, I've been doing public speaking after I realized, right, I've been doing public speaking, okay, or public performance ever since I was young in the temple, because I do prayers and all this openly, where you see hundreds of people surrounding me when I do prayers one by one to all my devotees. But in a professional level, standing on stage, okay, delivering professional contents and all that, I really have to thank Sifu Joey Yap for giving me that opportunities. And I think that been there, done that, I've done it, and I've actually in a way passed, okay, in a way with flying colors, okay, all right. I think it is time for me to back down so that I can have more energy and time to focus on in-depth level. So something that is more deeper, more meaningful, okay, especially during this December month, okay, for me to look into it. And as I mentioned, all right, So I want to do something that means more rather than just touching surfaces and like luring people or probably like
Entertaining people.
Okay, using a deep value of astrological sort of like content, okay. So I find that the time has come for me to actually, in a way, like be grateful towards all the experience I have and to actually step back from that. And so that I can have more time to focus on more in-depth level. And speaking of which, as I mentioned, December will come to challenges left, right, center, especially for those of us who are still, in a way, affected by a lot of like emotional impact, okay, uncertainty, okay, or fear within us. So remember to stay grounded. Staying grounded is very, very important. And in fact, when I reflect on the word groundedness, okay, I realize that a lot of people find is that, okay, being grounded might be a bad thing, especially in the West, you know, whenever we do something wrong, like what the parents do to us is like, we are grounded, okay? So it's that actually like, okay, we have to realize that being grounded in an environment that's chaotic, in an environment that is in a way disturbing, that is shocking, that is disrupting is very important so that we are in a way connected to our core. And one of the things that I want to really share is in December, we really need that because we are moving towards the darkest month, okay, right, in the year itself, the darkest month where you see that you have the lesser yang energy, okay? The night is getting longer. Of course, for places like Spain and all that, where you're in the like 4 seasonal countries and all that, it's getting colder, okay? Where everything just, in a way, tends to feel more miserable, right? The more you need this, okay, groundedness within us, okay, to actually prepare us and propel us further when spring comes. So one of the ways that I find that is like very, very easy to achieve to stay grounded is refocus back onto our breath. All right, just focus back onto every breath. Whenever we feel confused, we feel disrupted, we feel emotionally affected, okay, we feel fearful, we are scared, okay, just refocus back onto our breath, okay. Every breathe in and breathe out, probably you want to put it into a conscious counting as well. You just say 1 and then focus on your breath, breathe in and breathe out, and then count 2 and breathe in and breathe out. And when you continuously do it, you will feel that suddenly it will bring you back to the moment, okay, to where you are. It brings your mind back to your current situations where you are not allowing it to wander far off from your existence, okay? Like the thing that we are suffering so much from emotions, okay, or fear is whenever, okay, we are here physically and then a mind either travel to the past or travel to the future, where we have a lot of like anxiety happening, okay, and we have a lot of like depressive sort of memories, okay, that will surface within us. So always remember, ground ourselves by focusing onto the current moment of our breathing.
Yes.
Okay, that is important.
Yeah.
Anything else from your
now,
side?
as you were talking about it, I was like, I only have one main piece of advice which I can use in terms of grounding oneself, which is essentially going back to the breath, right? Going back to the breath and anchoring towards it, especially the deep belly breathing, right? So slow down the breathing, do a breathing exercise that's got to do with slowing down your intake, your inhalation, and also the exhalation. And of course, breathe deeply. And then you'll be able to anchor back your consciousness to the present, which is what Jessie was saying.
Right. And always remember, at the end of the day, we have to face all this fear ourselves. I know that there are many like people like us, okay, that are practitioners, okay, doing all these astrological things, selling hope, consultations. Yes, we can be of help, but at the end of the day, there are certain paths in our life itself. We just have to do it for us. No one else can be there to do it for you. And December is the month, okay, where you just have to, in a way, break through that internal fear that is happening within you. Because if not, right, okay, we will be there again, right? Chances is, like, I do not want to encourage people to go all around hanging on to other people for hope. Like paying money to hold on to other people to give them hope, or sometimes it can be false hope, all right? So, I mean, it's not to say that it's a bad thing to give hope to other people. It is good, okay, to be hopeful. But at the same time, okay, we also need to know that everything works external, at the same time it needs to work internal, as within so without. But if we always rely on external hope, that's something that we can hang on without building the strength within us, all right, eventually it will be so tiring. We have to let go. And once we let go of that, or other people decided to let go on us, we will drown as well. Okay? So it's always better to always work on ourselves. It might take more time. You won't have that instant sort of like results there, but it will last. Okay? It will build our strength, it will prepare us, and it will last us a lifetime, or I would say a soul's time. Okay, it's even more than a lifetime. Okay, and that's something that, of course, in period 9, that is something that what we need to actually get ourselves ready for. Yeah. Anything else from your side?
Okay, no, the main sharing is there. The technical parts we've explained in the first half, in the first part.
Yeah.
Right, this video is in multiple parts.
Yeah, I'm sorry for it. Okay, I'm sure it happens for a reason.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, for people who are really, if you're looking for information, you won't find that it's not that difficult for you to actually just look through all the 3 parts. Okay, so if you find that it's tedious, or you find that it is like a waste of time or energy to look through the 3 parts itself, then probably it's a choice that everyone has made. All right, work on ourselves, build our strength. December is the best time. Very good, Amy. Right, and continue to share. Right, Peggy, Amy, and the rest of you, Mei Yong, right, even Brian also, I see is like a lot of sharings on his side. Shirley also sharing a lot of like positive things as well, right? And for my Soul's Journey group, I hold you dearly in our hearts. Okay, so continue to spread the light. Continue to share the light out, but firstly, work on ourselves, and December is the best month to work on it. So I really appreciate if you can actually help me to share this session out, because I really rely and depend on you to help me to reach out to more people. Okay, so if you can actually help me to share this post out, or this Facebook Live out, okay, on your feed itself, it will be really appreciated. And I think before we end, any questions? If not, probably later on when we end, right? Okay. Oh, Siu Ping, yes, mommy. I love the fact that, you know, Diane, Fu, and then Siu Ping and all that, they remember to call me a mommy. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm very naggy at times. Okay, all right, and I will continue to nag on you until one day you will feel that it's enough. Okay, mommy, all right. Please, I have had enough. Okay, then you're free to go. Okay, if not, if you stick around me, I will continue to nag you. All right, so I guess we look through if there's any more questions.
No questions.
If no questions, probably later.
Lots of wonderful comments.
Thank
a few
you so
people
much.
are appreciative of your choice in sharing deeper and more meaningful things to a more meaningful and appreciative audience.
Yes.
Right? So, and lots of nuggets of information as well. So I encourage everybody to also read the comment section, because you know, a few people from the Soul's Journey were sharing information, highlights, and things like that.
All right, so thank
wonderful.
you so much to all of you. Have a great evening, ahead, especially those of you in the Malaysia time zone. And probably before we finish this, okay, like just right before we end, it will be good for Nicole, our camera girl here, okay, right, to help us to take out, because a lot of things have happened ever since that we've started. There are a lot of like stores here by the streets and other things, right? It will be good for you to slowly walk, a pan of the view, walk down the streets, okay, and before we say bye-bye, she can just continue to do, okay, she can actually start doing it now. You can still hear us, okay, because that's
December.
the great things. You can stand up, okay, and walk, okay, right, walk down the streets and up. They can still hear us. Have a great December.
That's right.
Okay, remember, December itself is Christmas, right?
It's Christmas season.
It's a time for us to look into the fundamental core. That's why it's like always a get-together. It's family. It's
reunion time.
Reunion time. People who matters. In Chinese also the same thing. Winter solstice. All right. It's Chun Yun, Tong Yun. So eating the rice glutinous dumplings. It's all about reunion. It's like getting into the core and understanding what is important in our life itself.
Yeah. And speaking of which, right, as we wrap up this December outlook.
Yeah.
Okay. The camera is far from this, but I think it will still be picking up.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just double check here.
Yeah.
The next phase of energy, and Jessie has also touched upon it, right? It's essentially the timing of the winter solstice, plus minus there. So there's going to be a little bit of a boost into 2023's Kuei Mao water rabbit energies. So that's going to give it a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a change. On top of what we already shared.
She's coming back.
And at the same time as well, that full moon, that new moon, right, that is right about that time, also kickstarts some of the energies there.
All right.
In terms of more energies of the water rabbit coming in from winter solstice onwards, and also a little bit more towards the more of the hopeful nature, right, of the wood element that we shall see, of course, come in strongly from spring onwards.
Yeah.
We start to feel a little bit of the boost.
Yeah. I'm
from
very
the
excited
winter
for
solstice.
2023,
Winter
but
solstice.
remember to take
Yeah.
it one step at a time.
right,
Okay,
yes.
there's no need to rush over things. And yeah, all right. So, ciao.
Yes.
Is it ciao in Spanish? No.
Adios.
Okay, sorry.
Adios, amigos.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, everyone.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful December.